Something amazing happened this month, and we got it on video. You will learn how to swim the 100 freestyle much faster just by watching this video and practicing the exercises we will suggest. We will analyze the video sent to us by our very own swim team. In our membership area on YouTube, you voted on which stroke you prefer for a video analysis. You voted on freestyle. So, when our head coach Ellie sent us a video of our swimmer Santi in the 100 freestyle at Mexican Nationals, I knew we had to analyze so that we could all learn from him. Remember that we do this once a month, and people who are members of the channel and our swim team receive priority for these video analysis. After asking permission from his mom to do this video, this is what we found. This graph told us what we already suspected. Oh, and by the way, we will let you know what place he got at the end of the video. Santi's time for the 100 freestyle long course was 58.66 before he started swimming with us. On this day, he swam at 54.36. That is a 4.30 second improvement in just the 9 months he has been swimming with us. We will do a full video on what we did with him to improve this much in just one season. But first, we will analyze his video to see how much he can still improve and what you can learn from him. This is going to be based on our goal of swimming a 48.3 in 3 years. It doesn't really matter if we reach that goal. What matters is that we have a plan. This was the time to qualify for Paris Olympics. And interestingly enough, this was the time Peter van der Hoogenven did to win the 2000 Sydney Olympics. Start and entry. Half a second from the start of the race, we were already behind everyone else. Santi started pulling himself down before jumping out. We had identified this mistake months before, and we thought we had corrected it, but this was an important meet. There was a lot of pressure already, and in these moments, we tend to fall back on our own mistakes. That is, if we haven't done enough good repetitions. In retrospect, we had done about 10 good, not consecutive repetitions. We underestimated the repetitions needed for a neural adaptation. More than 100 quality reps would have been better. Compared to the rest of the field, the next 15 meters were not too bad. But if we want him to swim 48.3 in 3 years, he needs to improve 1.1 second in the first 15 meters. That is like a body length and a half. Here's a breakdown on how we plan on doing that. 1, we could take off 0.1 of a second from the start. This will take more practice with the blocks, more reaction drills, and we might need to buy a better starting block. But we can fix this in 4 sessions. 2, we can shave off 0.15 with a better angle of entry. This is also fixed by doing at least 15 good dives every week. This will take about a year. With stronger, more explosive legs and back muscles, we'll be able to go 0.3 faster off with a farther, more explosive jump. This will take a lot more time. Building that type of strength we need for a good dive requires at least 3 years. For the legs, we will do more progressive stretch strength work, like the strength and mobility needed to do a slow pistol squat. Underwater kicks. We need to improve half a second from the underwater dolphin kicks themselves. This might take us 3 years as well. We need 3 things here: strong knees and hip flexors, strong hamstrings, and disproportionate core strength. For strong knees and hip flexors, we will do ATG squats. For hamstrings, we will do Nordic. For the core strength, we will probably do lots of hanging leg raises, cat-cows, some lower back exercises, and the king of core exercise itself, dolphin kicks. Lots of powerful dolphin kicks. One approach is to force swimmers to do at least 5 dolphin kicks after every wall. While this is a good exercise for CO2 tolerance, it's not the best approach to strengthen the core. This will teach them to do slow dolphin kicks. We like to focus our skills per session. So some sessions will be mainly doing dolphin kicks. We can improve 0.05 with a better breakout. This was footage from a while ago, but little details like the hand, the depth of the breakout, body alignment, and the quick change from dolphin to flutter kick are the key. We usually fix this in 2 days. The challenge is trying to practice the correct way every day and in high-stakes conditions. Tempo and technique. What concerns me about the next 10 meters is the tempo of his strokes. He has a tempo of 120 beats per minute, also known as one stroke for every 0.48 seconds. This is fast, faster than most Olympic swimmers in this event. It wouldn't be a bad thing if he was moving enough distance for every stroke. In other words, if he would conserve his best technique. For context, the best 100 freestyle swimmer in the world, Pan, has a tempo of 96 beats per minute. The former world record holder, Popovich, has a tempo of 105 beats per minute. Chalmers has an average tempo of 103. Caleb Dressel of 106, but they are all 1.9 meters tall, so they can afford to move their arms more slowly because they will move more with each stroke. This gives us a clue as how much Santi should be moving for every stroke depending on his height. Popovich moves 1.1 meters for every stroke, and Pan moves 1.25 meters consistently on every stroke. So Popovich has to move his arms a little faster to move as fast as Pan. What does that mean for people who are shorter? Here's a rough estimate of how much you should be moving for every stroke based on your height during a 100 freestyle meter race. If you're 180, you should move 1.1 meter. If you're 170, move 1 meter. If you're 160, you should be moving 0.9 meters, and so on. You can measure your BPM or distance per stroke by counting how many strokes and seconds it takes you to swim 10 meters in a 100-meter race, say from the 50-meter mark to the 25 meters, or the wall if it's short course. Then divide the number of strokes by the seconds it took and multiply it by 60. To get the distance you travel for every stroke, divide the distance traveled by the strokes taken. Santi, according to his height, should move from 0.98 to 1.05 meters for every stroke. This means he only achieves proper technique on the second 25 meters. The first 15 meters of freestyle he swam, he was full of strength. He was not pulling nearly as much as what he was capable of. He could have been swimming with a slower tempo and pulling as well or better as he was pulling during the second 25. Rather than better technique, these first strokes are fixed by calming the mind before the race with breathing exercises. We will have to correct some details on this stroke, but mainly, and this is what most people miss, we need more powerful kicks. This is what gives us more distance for every stroke. And to do that, we will work on the sled and more kick volume, turn and performance. Then comes the turn. From the turn to the 50 meters is the section that he has the most room for improvement, even higher than the first 15 meters. We will improve a second and a half here. We have made a lot of improvements in the last 9 months, but we still have a long ways to go. 3 main things to work on here. Stronger push from the wall, I'm thinking CC squats and more flip turn practices. Faster dolphin kicks, which we already talked about. And 3, better CO2 tolerance. More breath work in and out of the pool. For more detail, look for our breathing course inside our app, Skills and Teak. Final 15 meters. The third biggest area of opportunity is the last 15 meters. We will work on endurance for this one, and this will be fixed by the volume inside the swimming workouts. This is where Coach Ellie will make a plan to increase his endurance of his workouts gradually and sustainably. Now, I have to confess that this chart is a little deceiving. As you can see, not all distances are equal. Some are 10 meters and some are 15. I did it this way because these are the markers from the lane lines. And from the videos of the Olympians and from Santi, this is what we can gather. But here's another table to see how much he can improve per meter on each section. You can still see that the 3 biggest areas of opportunity remain the same, but the difference is not as noticeable. This means that in general, everything needs to improve. We cannot work on just one thing. Holistic approach. In fact, because Santi is still only 14 years old, we have to develop him holistically as an athlete and as a person. We can't over-specialize. Over-specialization at this age leads to stagnation later on, burnout, and makes everything more boring. And boredom kills swimming. We will keep things in our training that don't relate to the 100 freestyle at first glance. We don't even know if he will specialize in the 100 freestyle yet. We will do things like running sprints, climbing, juggling, swimming breaststroke, and all the other strokes, and letting him be a 14-year-old teenager. Having said that, we will put special attention to his lower body training, including dryland, dives, dolphin kicks, and flutter kicks with and without kickboard. If you've ever wondered if technique and tailored training work, here's your proof. Santi won the Mexican National Championships in his 13 and 14 age group. He got second in the 200 freestyle. This is something our more than 1 million subscribers can feel proud of, since every one of you and many more were at least partially responsible for. Without this channel, we wouldn't have a swim team. We wouldn't have a swim coach. We wouldn't have swimmers, and we are just getting started. We will continue to share our findings and our achievements from our team on this channel so that we can all be better swimmers. If you want to know how your swim compares to the Olympians, I'll share this Google Sheets document with you after a message from our services. See you then. Swim fast.